there's no 25. And so I upload 26 and I go like, all right. I was like, is that one episode ready, by the way? Because it's Friday and I'd like for it to go up at least by the end of the night. And he's like, what are you talking about?
Oh, no. It's the one he deleted.
So at the time of this recording, I didn't introduce the show yet. At the time of this recording, 25 is up. Enjoy. 26 will...
Is that one in our bank now, essentially?
That one's in our bank, and this is 27.
Oh, great.
Hello and welcome to Corks and Controller, episode 27.
The land of chaos. Bing, bing, bing.
That's, we live in chaos. My name is Victor Aparicio. Apparently, I'm Gizmo Gadget.
Yes, finally, he has accepted his fate.
And joining me, as always, is the lovely and beautiful...
thank you. He's drawing hearts on mahogany.
Mr. Victor, a.k.a. Cheesy Counselor.
Yes, the cheesiest of the bunch. The cheesiest. Thank you for that lovely introduction, Gizmo Gadget.
Oh, of course. Thank you.
He's like, fuck. I hate this.
Man, I don't even know where this episode started since I...
That is true. I mean, the episode kind of started on a whim about me ranting about vegetables.
We ranted a lot of things, but I guess that's what I'm asking about, Mr. Victor. How was your week? And did it involve worms?
It did, unfortunately. But the week was chaotic. I mean, I guess I'm just a walking charisma of chaos at this point now. But anywho, yeah, I made a lot of bad decisions this past weekend. And you know what I get for that? A bunch of worms, literally. They're called tomato hornworms, also tobacco hornworms. Two totally different species of hornworms that I understand. I rained hell on these motherfuckers. I did. I went to go spray them with BT, which is Bactobacillus something. It's a naturally occurring organic bacteria that apparently makes the caterpillars think they're full when they eat the leaves. And then they die.
Oh my God.
And then there's another one called neem oil that apparently kills a whole bunch of other shit that I don't know about. This morning, I had the unfortunate event, Mr. Victor, of going out to my backyard to check on my new, quite grandiose vegetable garden. And to my absolute horror and dismay and shock, it's hard to talk about this, I saw my beloved vegetables shaved on the top of their head, as in like someone just got a buzz cut and just boom, left like the fucking Friar halo of angels, around the edge. And I'm like, what in the Sam Hill is this shit? I barely adopted you bitches like literally a fucking day ago. What the fuck? And I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck did I do? That was the first idea. And then I'm like, hold the fuck up. I turn one of the little plants over and I see a nice little worm and I'm like, bitch. If it wasn't for my, interest in killing insects, I would not have picked up the 2 bottles of BT and neem oil when I did this past weekend. And I immediately proceeded to go and spray the fuck out of everything in sight with neem oil, and then proceeded to walk back there and spray it again, this time with BT. If I did my job correctly, when I go home, I shall stand amongst the cadavers of 1,000 dead caterpillars.
I'll reign supreme in the battle royale.
I will. Now, see, the cool thing about all this, too, is... I will be crowned the Caterpillar King, bitches. No. The cool thing about this, too, for all of you eco-friendly people out there, these worms deserve no fucking rights. They do not deserve your pity, and they absolutely do not deserve an ounce of your care. These bitches demolished my fucking plants. You hear me? And they will demolish yours, too. The wonderful caterpillar that turns into the monarch butterfly, thankfully, only eats something called milkweed that I have no idea of what the fuck it is. And I also don't happen to have any in my house. It's all a bunch of fucking vegetables and a palm tree and I think like a rosemary bush. So the monarch butterflies are protected, but these goddamn caterpillars. Can you please tell Octavio to post a picture of this bitch?
Yeah, Octavio.
I mean, when I say this bitch, I mean the caterpillar, not Victor.
I want it to be exactly this size, Octavio. All right, maybe this size. What's it? I'm just fucking.
Yeah, these caterpillars, when you step on them, they are a bright neon green mess, and I look forward tonight to just dancing upon their cadavers. That was how my weekend was. How was yours?
Mine was great. I cosplayed as a stay-at-home dad.
What's cosplaying?
costume play where you just put on an outfit and pretend you're whoever wears that outfit.
You were a cosplay what?
A stay-home dad. I was just every single day.
Is that the same thing as LARPing?
Yeah. Yeah, LARPing's very active, but yeah.
So you were LARPing as a dad?
I was LARPing as a dad every single day.
Wait, weren't you at work?
There was just something to clean. Well, yeah, when I get home. When I get home, there's just something to clean. There's still stuff to clean. But whatever. It's fine. I like to clean. When I'm in the mood, I'm usually mad when I start, and by the end of it, I'm just like, oh, dude, I can clean all fucking night.
I wish I had your Vivance for life. Because I fucking hate cleaning.
But something else very interesting happened this week. I will say a lovely gentleman came into my place of work, which is undisclosed, and he was like, "Hey, I'm a new winery. I'm a new businessman, and I would like for you to taste my wine to hopefully bring it in."
Don't tell that to any woman that you know or man. The more you think about it, the worse it gets.
Oh, sorry about that.
Literally.
And I was just like, I'll see what I can do because it ain't up to me. And so that's the whole story. And that is why Mr. Victor, instead of what father usually procures, is usually here. But this time, it's just
Father B has provided. No, actually, it's still father, but it's just the... Imagine having two dads named Victor. What the fuck would have happened?
God.
It's like, oh yeah, that's my daddy Victor. Like, what? Which one? And the worst part is we both have the same middle name.
I know, it's like
So technically I am father, but you are also father.
it's like a preteen like son or daughter comes home and they're just like, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, I have two dads. It's not weird anymore. It's like 2047. It's like, it's not weird no more. And you come in and it's just like, no, the fact that when I call one of them and they both answer, that's the weird part. That's why you're going to get beat up at school.
Yeah.
Not because your dads are gay.
Yeah, it's because your dads have the same first name and middle name. And when people call them, it's like, hey, Victor. And we both turn around and we're like, huh?
We both just fuck with them. We're both like, yes.
Oh my God. The worst part would be if two gay Victors had a son and they named him Victor. And with the same middle name, that would just be the punishment of life. Or it would be even worse to call him Victor the Third.
Oh my God. And then when you get married, you all have the exact same name.
Yeah.
The entire
it's like a whole inbred line of without even being genetically related. It's just inbred as fuck.
That has to be a story somewhere. Somewhere in this godforsaken globe is a all male family with all the exact same name.
Isn't there an alternate universe for that exactly?
Perhaps.
To the Victor Manuels out there that are raising a Victor Manuel, cheers.
You don't have a glass, so you broken.
Oh, that's
the rules.
true. Well, in the other alternate reality where we don't need a cheers.
All right. So, wow, we went off the rails really hard. So anyways, so we're going to try this bad boy.
What was the story that he told you?
The story that he told me is he came up to me and he was just like, hey.
Oh, what's the name of this wine, by the way?
This wine. Oh my God, dude, I don't even know how to say it.
It is Cetiri.
Cetiri. Proven, genetically unknown. So that's why there's no vintage or year on this. And that was basically the story he told me. He's just like, I'm a doctor and I have UC Davis friends. And I told him, check out this grape I got, bro. I forgot where I got the vineyard from. I'm sorry. I apologize. And they're just like, this is genetically unknown species of grape. And I was just like, I'd never heard that in my life. so I thought it'd be interesting to bring the bottle of the show to see what Mr. Victor thinks. And yeah, that's my story.
I've never had a Cetiri, so I'm interested.
Recognized as a premier wine, esteemed Orange County competition, double gold.
Double gold. Let's see what these Orange County judges were thinking.
All right. I was not prepared, but at least it's here.
Ooh, is that Rombauer?
This is
the duck horn.
This is the duck.
The calling of the duck.
Oh man, they really fucked up the opportunity to make it like a duck head. Like make this gold and like this beaky part could be like orange.
Yeah, too bad duck horn is too hoity-toity for that kind of stuff.
we can all have fun here and there. Ooh,
I hear the squeak.
the squeaking. Ooh,
Oh
sorry.
yeah, he paid some high quality money for that cork.
There we go. Ooh.
Cetiri.
All right. I like how, because usually we're yelling at the top of our lungs over some random joke or some wine facts or some science knowledge, but it's very interesting how quiet you're being. I feel like this is the most serious tasting we've had yet.
Yeah, I mean, this is a grape unbeknownst to us. It's literally unproven genetically. I have qualms with that, but I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Mm-hmm. So there we go. This is Cetiri. Cetiri 4? Wait, special reserve number 4. Okay. Very interesting.
I just have a question. How can something that's unproven be a special reserve number 4? That means that there's 3 editions prior to this. I feel lied.
Yeah, this might be the fourth, what is it called? Yield?
Oh, the 4th yield?
Is that what the...
Maybe. I don't know. It might be the 4th barrel. I don't know.
We don't know. Well,
cheers and kampai.
go hi to new wineries.
Yes, to the new Leicesterland Winery, special reserve number 4, Cetiri. A little grape from Croatia. Which our wine geeks will happily know that this might very well be related to another little grape called Zinfandel. That is also from Croatia. That California adopted as its own.
There you go. No, seems all right to me.
It smells like a Zinfandel. It smells jammy, fruity, candy.
Wow.
So complex. That's a wine, all right. What do you have to contribute, Mr. Victor?
It's
It's something, all right. It has a character.
it kind of overpowers my mouth a little bit.
Yeah, I would equate this to the equivalent of a burnt espresso, grounds included. It's very grainy. It's very
Yes.
toasty, very almost like I don't know, hot rubber from a tire. Cigarettes.
Wow.
It's almost like, you know, like when you burn chocolate on a stove when you're trying to make fucking melted chocolate. It has a lot going on. Do you think your clientele would enjoy this, Mr. Victor?
It'd be a hard sell. I wonder if okay, so I don't know what to do because I'm overtly nice, to a fault, and maybe sometimes I don't even believe my own niceness. Oh God. So instead, I'm gonna tell an anecdote about a few weeks ago when we were tasting.
My throat yearns water.
We were tasting another wine, to which we proceeded to call it boomer juice, and
I would prefer that one over this.
that it was said in a tone that was had some love to it, but you know, this I can't even like find like a playful criticism for it.
This tastes like if it was your first time making coffee and you thought that dark roast was a good idea and you decided to do pour over, but you didn't have the best strainer to use it with. So you pour boiling, scalding water over the, pour, and it kind of like lingers there because the thing is stuck, and then you give it a shake to kind of get the water flowing. And then you take a sip, and then you get this really toasty, really intense, like 99% cacao chocolate kind of flavor. But it has this burn of acidic lingeringness to it that a dark roast shouldn't have. And then you realize that this blend was actually like a creative, like flavored blend that you weren't supposed to boil. And then turns out that you get a whole bunch of other little flavors in there, like rubber and cigarettes and everything else. So you decide to doctor it up a little bit, with the actual chocolate syrup. So, okay, whatever, it's going good. And then you add a tablespoon of like raspberry jam and you're like, okay, this should taste good. Now, so when you smell it, it smells pretty good. You're like, okay, I smell chocolate, I smell berries. And then you take a sip and you're like, what the fuck have I done?
Oh, God.
It probably was good without the oak usage, I think. And if they would have picked a little sooner, I think would have been a good idea too. It's a serviceable wine. If I went to a party and I was served this, I wouldn't complain.
That was like the first thing I wanted to say. And then, but when I had my second sip, I was just like, this thing is like coating my mouth with the graininess, as you said. And like the dark fruit is like at the very, very, very end. That's like the one part where I was just like, there's some here. Maybe I'm just not educated. I'm not trained enough.
The best way I could describe this is, have you ever gone to a Chinese restaurant and you order, like the fried shrimp, and you're like, oh, look at that wonderful puffy, like little shrimp. And then you start thinking like, that's a really big shrimp. And then you actually take a bite and it's all dough. And then you keep on biting and you start peeling it off and it's fucking never ending. And then eventually you get to the shrimp and you taste the shrimp and you're like, this is what it tastes like. And then you realize you have a pound of fucking leftover dough. I feel like this is the wine equivalent. There are wonderful qualities in this wine that can be expressed, but were not expressed. On the first initial impact, it does have a nice texture. And then after that, it quickly becomes as if I shoved a mouthful of espresso powder in my mouth.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And it's not tannin and it's not acid. It's just ew. I don't know. You're still going after that.
I'm trying to be nice.
Maybe this wine would taste good with a really super fatty piece of gamey red meat. Go out to the woods, shoot a deer. Maybe don't shoot a deer. Shoot a boar. And then... what's really fucked up about that burp? I had some water before I actually walked to your house, and it's like the end taste of that burp tasted like water, and I'm like, oh, finally some peace.
I'm sure you wanted water.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. I think the burp did it there. But yeah, so if you could go to your local woods and provide yourself, some provisions of a very gamey meat, cover that thing up in crushed black pepper, soak it in some soy sauce, and for good measure, throw some, smoked paprika on there, put it on a grill for a couple hours, and make sure that it gets charred bits, and then that would probably be good with this wine. As it stands, this is not a wine to have with, a charcuterie platter. It's gonna overpower just about everything. And, it's, what a beautiful world.
I
think this could kill some hornworms.
In the event, Mr. Lester, that you're watching this, there's definitely something here. We're hoping the next harvest, lots of lessons to take.
Dr. Lester, if you're listening, this is a commendable wine. It really is. I think the picking process was maybe a little bit too late. I think that maybe the grapes weren't, ripe enough without the late picking, if that was the case. I think maybe more sunlight would have been beneficial. A little bit less oak, a little bit less char. I know it's an expensive project to undertake, but yeah, this is it's a learning curve for everyone.
I'm so glad you're here, Victor. You're such a professional. I feel like my apprehension to bring valid criticism is making me seem more meaner than I am right now.
No, I mean, ultimately, I'm the guy with an opinion. You're the guy with the actual power to kind of do something about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, so
What a wine.
Transition. Transition back. Whoa, where are we? Oh, hey. So, for the featured bottle for today's episode, Mr. Victor has provided us with a wonderful...
Wait, are you going to cut out that?
La Pleiade.
Are you going to cut that out?
Pleiade Sancerre.
So, this is made by La Pleiade, and this is a Sancerre being sourced from Ronsard, specifically. 2021 vintage. So this is going to be 100% Sauvignon Blanc from a very, very chalky area of the Loire Valley. I would say that it's a 50-50 split, in my opinion, where the best Sauvignon Blanc in the world grows. I would say 50% of it grows in Sancerre or Puy-Fumé, and for sure 50% in the Loire Valley. And then the other 50% reigns supreme in Paysac, Léognan, and Bordeaux in the left bank. Mm-hmm. Are we scrapping the previous?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's stated.
So let us, So let me tell you a little bit about Sancerre. So Sancerre is 100% Sauvignon Blanc. Like I said, it comes from a place in the Loire Valley called Sancerre. Sancerre, I believe, has a very high concentration of, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it might be Cameroonian soil, which is pretty much like little fossilized oyster shells. Actually, no, I don't think it's Cameroonian soils. I think only Chablis and Champagne have Cameroonian soils. So I think this actually has a higher concentration of either slate or schist is what it is for the specific soil. Sancerre is she's so cute. Sancerre is a wonderful wine because there are very easy drinking examples like this one. And these examples are not really meant to age. These taste really good with, oh my God, just straight up sashimi. Mm-hmm. That's what Sancerre like this does best with. But then there are some very famous examples of Sancerre like Vatan, Vatan. Those will run you about $1,600 a bottle, and those Sancerres are meant to go for a very, very long time. What a taste. This is not one of them. So this is one that is meant to be enjoyed young, fresh, spritzy, so should be very, very easy to drink.
Cleanse my palate with the nice actually. Arizona green tea. With
as is customary for Mr. Victor on his first day.
Ginseng and honey. Oh, you son.
Now, don't you just love how this smells already? I can already smell it, like, without even getting it near my mouth. It has this wonderful, like, fresh, pure, like, honey meets honeydew melon, meets a peach, meets a lime, meets a lemon.
It also smells like some flowers.
Yeah, so it smells like lemon verbena. I for sure think it also smells like chamomile. I think I also get, like, the white violet. Mm-hmm. But then I also smell like rocks, like just straight up like you're walking down a little river path and like near a little, I don't know, river path.
Victor, I can barely swirl.
Oh, heavy is the crown that, what's the fucking saying? Heavy is the head that carries the...
That carries the crown?
There we go, yes. Just take a big glug and then swirl it. That wasn't a very big glug, but we'll go with that. So, cheers!
I broke the rules again.
Ooh. This smells like super pure and very zesty.
Oh my God. You know what? Nicole!
Ooh. This tastes electric.
Come taste this. Oh, okay.
It tastes like green, crispy pears, like the whiffest bit of honey, and like this really... It's really hard to describe Arm & Hammer baking soda toothpaste. Like, it's just so clean, so fresh, so easy to drink and easy to love. Is this not refreshing?
I know. It is, and...
It would be better colder, but yeah, ooh, that was rough.
Kind of helps.
You know, I was thinking during our little intermission, like, what wines would equate to that? And I'm just trying to think of, like, back at our last mutual job, I would have to taste a shit ton of fucking wine. Oh my God, so much fucking wine. Like, drown me in wine. Mm-hmm. And few were the wines that actually made me think, like, why is this so unique and not always in the best of ways? And very few are the wines that reminded me of that wine. It's not. So let me set the record straight. I don't think it's a bad wine, and I don't think it's a disgusting wine. Like I said, if it was served at a party, I would drink it. But there are certain wines that, as a wine professional of sorts, you know there's something off about it. You know there's something that's just not right about the wine, and it just lingers in your head. And I'm just like, so first of all, I've never had a Cetiri, so I don't know what it's supposed to taste like. Mm-hmm. But as someone who used to sell wine to everybody across the board, from introductory drinkers all the way up to, your multi-thousands, per bottle, that is a wine that I would not be able to sell to anybody. I mean, maybe if somebody wanted like a unique Croatian grape, but even then, I wouldn't be able to assure the quality of it, because something about that wine just, very, very few are the wines that make me, if you want to bleep it out, you can, gag. That one did. Like when I burped, oh my God. The resolution and power in me to hold that back from launching it onto mahogany was intense.
Don't hurt the mahogany.
I've vomited espresso like maybe 4 times in my life. It reminded me a lot of that.
Really? You just happen to be sick, or just bad espresso?
No, I think it was an overstimulation of alcohol, and I was all like, oh, let me bounce it out by, an espresso. And then it was just, that acid trickle just boom, and all I tasted was alcohol-infused espresso. And that's what that tasted like.
That's why I feel like espresso martini cocktails are becoming popular. They're like in little tiny cans.
Ew.
And I just feel like that's what that would taste like.
That's disgusting. Yeah. But no, this wine is fresh. It's light on its feet. I think it's a very perfect opposite to what we had earlier. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I think it's great. I think it's very crisp. Like you said, I'm interested to see if it was like a little more cooler.
Yeah, if it was colder, I think it would be more electric than it already is. Mm-hmm. It's a very just like, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like heavy cream, 1 being like water, this is like a solid 2.
I take back my crisp comment. It's very easy going instead of crisp. This is like, it's not like a sharpness to it. Very, very relaxing. I would play handheld gaming with this one.
Oh, we're not pairing just yet, are we?
No, we're not. But there's a pairing show, so we might as well like put some intersections in there. On to our next section, where we play our featured game for the day.
Oh yes, let us begin this fun part.
Mr. Victor, are you aware of the growing popularity that is the Fallout TV show based on the video game
Fall Out Boy?
Maybe in terms of hardcoreness, but no.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
What did I just hear? I heard like a little dun 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 dun.
That's my console turning on. Let's translation over here. Octavia told me that the first time we did this segment, and I was just like, hopefully he puts in like a nice transition, because I feel like this gets like a little awkward. Mm-hmm. Switch, pulling up the gameplay, and he's like, no, I left it in. I was like, you son of a bitch.
Aww, Octavio sending love and kisses.
I'm gonna have to see how he's damaged my reputation. No, I'm kidding.
Reputations have not been damaged or harmed. They've just been expanded upon.
All right, Octavio, let's see. Oh wait, there's no output. What's going on here?
Gizmo Gadget to the rescue. Say, here we go. This is how he earned his name.
Whoa! It's me from the future. Can't you tell by my beard? It tells you that time has passed and that there's no Fallout gameplay. It's broken. It's gone. I don't know what happened to it. Put up someone else's gameplay on YouTube. Just credit them, I guess. All right, back to my adventures. Whoa! Mr. Victor.
Yes.
Mr. Victor, there is a TV show that's going on right now.
Is that a dog?
Fallout.
Is that a dog?
That is a dog.
Don't kill it, please.
That is a German show. That's my dog.
Oh, I was going to say, like, oh my God, please. Like, does the dog die?
No, the dog, hilarious enough, in the old version This is Fallout 4, by the way. Everyone knows Fallout 4. I hardly need to explain it. It's a post-apocalyptic open world game where story narratives go all sorts of ways, and you have to make decisions the entire time that affect the way people will treat you or talk to you. It's very cool. It's very RPG. But anyways, in Fallout 3, the older version, that dog can die. And I'm sure that probably upset a lot of people, as you are right now. So in this version, which is Fallout 4, the dog cannot die. He can get hurt, but he can't die.
Oh, thank God. I was about to be like, no.
He's what?
Does that say dog meat?
That's his name.
Oh.
That's the type of humor that's in this post-apocalyptic world.
Hammer me to the board.
And so
dog meat, the poor dog. Oh my God.
So yeah, dog meat has a plot armor, which means he stays with you the entire time and can't die. Do you get that concept, plot armor?
No.
Or no?
I just see 007 and I'm like, oh, Bollinger champagne.
It's kind of like a an inside joke for like games and anime where nothing can ever bad happen to any main characters because they have to survive to the end of the story, so they have plot armor.
Oh, so that makes more sense.
No matter how stupid they are, they just end up in the last episode or the last hours of the game. Anyways, so this is Fallout. It's one of those games where it's just like.
Wait, does the dog lead the way?
Just the AI just kind of lets the dog go ahead of me. No matter
it has AI. Wow.
Yeah, that ain't no player.
Huh.
So yeah, I forgot what I was doing. I started a new save file when watching a few episodes of the game, so I'm pretty early in. Let's see, you can just change the mode to first person. And I think when I was scouting this earlier, I think there's some enemies right here. I forgot. Whoop. Oh, I guess they're not here anymore. Anyways, but yeah, I was playing this earlier just to scout for this episode, and I'm on my way to an objective. Ooh. Who said that? Who's talking? Being shot at by someone. I think. Someone up here? Hello? There you are. Come here.
Absalom.
Come here, Absalom. I'm gonna hurt you. Oh. Ooh, I shot my dog on accident.
Oh no.
Go get him. Get him. I'll help you out, dog meat.
Does he eat the meat?
Or
how do you feed the dog? You can't feed him fucking kibble in this kind of world, right?
This is video game logic, so you don't have to feed the dog.
Oh my God. He starves for his whole life.
Maybe the narrative is every time he attacks a rad roach, he just eats it while you're not looking. Rad roach being a radiated roach that's like 11 times the size of a regular roach.
Oh, is the whole purpose of this like a nuclear attack?
Yes, the plot of all the Fallout.
Is this San Francisco?
We're in Boston.
Oh.
We're in Boston. Hey. That's probably terrible. But all Fallout games follow the same narrative, which is an alternate post-war narrative where the nukes landed all over America and made a wasteland out of everything. And so this is the result: a bunch of raiders and surviving groups. Whoops.
And are these actual like players, or is it just AI?
No, it's just AI. This is all first person or single player.
Oh, game. And they also have their own dogs?
Oh God, they do. Nope.
Oh, they have
they're radiated, so they don't have any fur anymore.
Oh my God.
Where's that? Oh, it's just a turret. There's a little robot. Shut up, robot. Whoops. Sorry. Circle to me is always crouch, so. Oh, you're another one. Hey, that's not a radiated. Oh, I'm so sorry.
That was a Rottweiler. Wait, something's hitting you, right?
Mr. Victor, are you speciesist towards certain dogs?
Rottweiler bit my brother way back when, and
Shit, I'm almost dead.
How do you know you're almost dead?
My health's on the bottom left.
Oh, I thought that's I'm stupid. I thought that was like a Harry Potter thing or something.
Those are my Harry Potter points.
That's why I was all like, is this one of those games that like it crosses?
God, just die. Oh, he's a strong one. Let's see. Let's get my shotgun out.
Oh my God.
There we go. Does a little more damage. Apparently not enough. That's the funny thing about RPG games. It's just like logically a shotgun from point blank range is not pretty. Not pretty, but in here you can survive just fine. See?
Yeah, with all that.
I died. Okay.
Wait, where's your dog?
I assume he got hurt enough to not help me out. Because like when you hurt the dog enough that he becomes paralyzed and he just kind of like waits until you either heal him or the battle's over.
Oh my god, I would not survive in this game.
No. Well, you know the realities of being in a post-apocalyptic environment, Victor, is unfortunately you might have to get rid of your pets. You know why?
Why?
Because they make too much noise.
And I'd rather go out guns a blazing.
It's not worth it when there's zombies around.
If my dog's not around, is it worth it? No. That's the only thing I have left over.
So if another COVID happens, but it's just a zombie infection thing, you might have to make some decisions, Victor. I'm sorry to say.
My dog will eat me. That's what will happen.
That is the correct answer, yes.
That is the correct answer. I will sacrifice myself for my dog.
All right, so I didn't win that fight, so I'm just going to ignore them for now. Go a different way. Can I jump this fence? I sure can. Oh, no.
So, video game logic, your dog can also jump that high-ass fence?
Video game logic is when I'm not looking at my dog, he could be anywhere, and he teleports.
Oh, great.
Oh, fuck!
Fuck is that?
Oh, shit. It's a radiated animal that turns 20 times its size.
That's a crab.
Sure is. He doesn't hit very hard, but I'm still afraid. I'm just going to jump up here. Where'd you go? Come back here, you wussy. I know I'm the one who ran, but you're still a wussy. My cat's jumping all over the place. It's growing.
The thing's name is Murloc?
Oh, someone shot a mini nuke at it. I don't know where it went. God, it went very far.
Shouldn't that carcass be laying around somewhere?
All right, what? Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Okay, I guess it wasn't that strong.
Can you eat it?
You can harvest its meats.
Go for it.
Someone's shooting mini nukes. That's why there's a lot of noises happening. So I'm getting the heck out of here. Because I don't know if you know this, but even a tiny nuke bomb...
Hey, you got some lobster just chilling there.
Huh?
Yeah, it's hanging off a bag.
Oh, yeah.
Can you eat that? Can you eat that?
Oh, God. The Brotherhood of Steel is around here. That's what that helicopter is.
The Brotherhood?
The Brotherhood of Steel is this, like, warped, like... They're sort of like cultists in which... the show actually makes fun of it a little bit, where it's like they use pre-war technology to capture pre-war technology. That way no one can use the pre-war technology. They hate it, but they use it to destroy it.
Wow. So
they're weirdos. And it's like semi-religious, where it's just like you have to serve the people in the armors. It's funny. Watch the show. It's on Amazon Prime, everybody.
Oh, it's literally called Fallout?
Yes.
And it was modeled after this game?
Yes. This game was a game before the show was ever a show, so.
Did the dogs die in that show?
I can't remember. No. There is a reference to dog meat in the show. There is a dog that follows the characters. But the owner died. Oh, there's a grenade somewhere. Oh, God. Okay. Who's throwing grenades? Last I checked, animals don't throw grenades.
What the hell? Is that a whale?
There's someone in these houses. Oh, shit. There we go. Oh, God. I'm shooting my dog again. My dog is so... Oh, God. My gun jammed. So much is going wrong. Okay. I need another gun. Here we go. I got a laser gun. Shoots lasers. Die. Don't make me shoot my dog again. Oh yeah, here's another important... You kicked my dog.
Oh my god.
Here's another important component of this game. You can slow down time and target specific body parts.
Ooh, what does the most damage?
It looks like the mid body, but I'm gonna shoot his legs just for the... Or her legs just for the fun of it. Let's cripple him.
Oh, does she actually get crippled? What
Yeah,
the
see,
fuck?
now she's walking.
Ooh, do it again.
Now she's walking slower. Don't kick my dog.
Oh my god.
Dude. Imagine wandering. Hey, you're not crippled anymore. You must have healed. Stupid RPG logic. See, my dog's hurt, but I can give him a stim pack. Heal him up. Yeah, come on, buddy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, I feel better.
Yeah. I should stab myself with a heal pack. Yeah, Mr. Victor, this is a video game. What do you think?
Too much for me. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's
it's
definitely
like
a lot
those
going on.
fucking crabs. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wait, are those things poisonous too?
Nah, they're just regular. We're glitched for a second, but yeah, there's just regular birds.
There was a glitch in the fucking... What's that saying?
In the Matrix. Oh god, another one. How many... Oh, my gun's weak against this one. Oh god. I wonder if my shotgun's effective. Oh yeah, that does way more damage. Get off me. Oh, look who's running. Look who's hurt. Get over here, you wussy. Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, Miss Victor, if you were to see yourself in a post-apocalyptic environment with your dog,
Oh my god, no. Too close to the fields there.
all right,
Something about gigantic hermit crab. Oh, Christ.
we're at a settlement now. So these are quote-unquote nice people. Oh yeah, I met this guy in the beginning of the game, but I'm not going to talk to him because I'm going to figure out what the objective is. What is the objective? What is this? What's going on here? Workshop? What's my objective? Activate. Broadcast what? Oh god, what do you want me to build? Oh, you want me to build power? Generator? Okay. Cool.
Oh, you have to collect all that shit on top of staying alive?
Yeah, you have to venture out and find steel and
What the fuck is your
and copper.
What the fuck is your happiness up on the top right?
Happiness is the happiness of the people in this settlement.
Oh.
Apparently they're happy without power, so why do I even need to help them? Let's see. How do I build wires? Oh god. What? Oh god.
You got to talk to that guy or something?
Oh fuck. I don't know how this shit works. Oh, attach wire. Yeah. Build something that requires what? Oh, I need more. Okay, fuck. Okay.
Do you have enough to make them?
Produces 10. Oh god. I'm not, okay. Here we go. There, perfect. Oh, I can't touch. Oh, what? Alright. I'm not cool enough to produce enough power. Oh, wait. Maybe I am. Oh, is it working? Oh, I gotta move this. Okay. Select. Okay, perfect. Attach. I win. Alright, cool.
What do you win for that?
I can now use this there.
It doesn't give you extra life?
Seems to be more. Then turn on. What the fuck? Oh, I gotta talk this. Oh, cool. That was a fascinating mission. I must have came here, forgot what I was doing, and left. Because that was like the most boring mission I ever done in my life. Alright. Cool. Well, that was Fallout.
Wow.
You venture a post-apocalyptic Boston, and you do things. And... Sure hope I was recording that whole time.
Uh-oh.
I read about.
And you know what? That's what Corks and Controller is all about.
We're about the flops and the flips and everything else in between.
Oh. All right.
I got tomato hornworm problems. Victor has technical problems. It's okay, Victor. It's okay, Mr. Victor.
Wait, I don't understand. Wait,
I don't either. How the fuck did a worm show up to my fucking property?
did I just record twice in a row? What the heck? All right, whatever. The point is that I probably didn't record any of that. All right. Cool. Octavio, I'll let you handle that. Cool.
Maybe he could just add in some gameplay over that.
Yeah, just add in someone else's. Just credit them instead. Let's get on with the meat of the show. The show must go on, as they might say.
Yes.
Mr. Victor, what are we pairing this week for our lovely viewers?
Oh, let's see. So for you, I got an interesting one. So, do you know how the story starts, Mr. Victor?
How this story starts?
Yes.
The Fallout?
No, my pairings.
Oh, your pairings. How this story starts with your pairings.
Yes. By this point, I think you should know.
I'm sort of afraid that I don't.
Oh yeah. When I say it, you're gonna be like, oh, of course. So I was at a wine dinner.
Of course.
There it is. And this specific wine dinner. Sorry, little bug. I just killed a bug on
I
TV.
apologize for hosting bugs in my
No, I apologize for killing something that wasn't a caterpillar. But I was at a wine dinner, and this specific dinner
Oh, it was just funny to me.
was focusing on what is known as Cal Italian varietals, aka California-grown Italian varietals of grapes. So these are grapes like Nebbiolo, Barbera. Let's see, there's also Dolcetto, there's Montepulciano. For your whites, there's Trebbiano, Vernaccia, there's Vermentino, Falangina, Fiano, Greco.
I'm sorry, it's California based, but it was grown like an Italian?
No, so they're California-grown Italian varietals.
Okay.
So this specific dinner focused on that. So pretty much what I did is I ended up taking a bottle of my beloved Tablas Creek, Vermentino. So Vermentino is native, I think, to Sardinia, Is it Sardinia? I think it is Sardinia. So I took a bottle of that. But I would say that the star of the show...
Sardinia, the place where they can all your sardines.
Oh, my dream. Vermentino and sardines. I could do that shit all day. But at that dinner, there was one specific wine that really... I don't know if the saying is rubbed me the right way.
Hey, yo!
All the wines were delicious. They really were. But there was this specific bottle of Mathisson Montepulciano.
Mm-hmm.
So to spell that out, that is Matthison, and then Montepulciano. Poor Victor, he has to look all these names up. So Mathisson is this cool little winery up in the Napa Valley. They are, for the most part, what I would consider to be more farmers than they are winemakers. Steve and Jill Mathisson are the absolute sweetest couple. Steve, I've had the chance to meet him a few times at trade tastings, and he is by far such a humble and down-to-earth guy. Like, if Steve is watching, man, let's just have a beer and just talk. Like, he's that kind of guy.
You can invite me to that party.
Yeah, right. I know, right? Corks and controllers. Come on, Steve. So the vibes that they give off is like major hippie vibes. Like, they're just so carefree. Their winery is so goddamn adorable, and their wines are fucking incredible. Mm-hmm. Now, up until this point, I had only had the classic Mathisson wines. So, like the Napa Valley white wine that's a blend of Semillon and I think Sauvignon Gris. Sorry, Steve, I should know that. But then there's also like the Napa Valley Cabernets. Those are fantastic. There's also the Merlot, and then their Linda Vista Chardonnay is one of my favorite Chardonnays year in, year out, and their rosé is incredible. But anywho, at this dinner, this particular gentleman brought that bottle of Mathisson Montepulciano. I just remember seeing the color, and I'm like, oh my lord, what a lovely color. It was like this deep garnet, like with like bright red ruby lip rim, and the smells were just intoxicating. It's like I could smell like red Twizzlers. I could smell like really, really blonde tobacco. Remember those at our place of employment? You had like the blondies, and you could smell those. Like literally, it just smelled like a little blondie cigar.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like it was insane because it's like I would also get like blood orange. I also got like fucking kumquats. It was just like this incredibly bright scented wine, and then you drank it, and it was like this dark elixir of just like, oh my god, like cassis and chocolate and like just dry cherries. Oh my god, it was fantastic. So, Mr. Victor, were you trying to spell it out?
Yeah. I spelled it completely wrong, by the way, just so everyone knows. Yeah, that was my first. I want Google to correct me.
That was a fun iteration of spelling. So, Mr. Victor, this should be, I think, an easy pairing for you. Yes. I want some form of media, be it video game, anime, even a meme, whatever it may be, of a storyline that involves a Californian, or for lack of a better term, a beach surf goer / hippie that has Italian ties. What is the epitome of the Cal-Italian media? Is there a video game out there that involves an American Italian and he's a mobster? Or is there a video game out there of the Italian stallion, but he's American? Or my favorite, is there a video game that centers around pizza as we know it?
Centers around pizza. There's lots of video games about pizza, but they're cartoony, and you're immediately making me think of the PS2 release of Grand Theft Auto 3, because like that is like bona fide stereotypical like New York City Italian mobsters. They try to be like a big city version of like The Sopranos or some shit, but like obviously with the Grand Theft Auto humor, especially back then, like people think like the newer Grand Theft Auto has Jesus. People think that
slosh coming up.
Sloshing commenced.
Put a little like LP or XP little chart next to him, like saying sloshing, getting closer at max.
I know. I was always taking like screenshots of me like looking like I'm high or drunk. Here's one on top of you. Yeah, people think the newer Grand Theft Auto is like, I feel like their humor is more written like the way Marvel movie humor is written, where it's just like very like Grand Theft Auto 3 and 4 humor was like a little more smart, a little bit more subtle. Like you had to like be actually paying attention to like get the humor in the scenes, or like instead of someone like just like outright just being like, what are you, fucking stupid? Instead you get something more subtle where it's just like someone says something silly and like the mobster's just like, you can just go. You can go now. like there doesn't need to be any like elbow nudging, but elbow nudging. But anyways, that was just an aside. But your wine does remind me of like that little Italiano America that is very, very present in Grand Theft Auto 3. So I would say that might be a nice bottle to open up while you break open some nostalgia.
I think that's a wonderful pairing, because it's like with the Mathisson, it's like you get this wonderful California vibe on the wine, but then it's like underlying, it's just like, I'm a menace, bitch. Like, you don't know my history. If you knew me in Abruzzo, things would be different. But I've changed. I'm Californian now. I left the murder life behind me.
That's what makes this newest Grand Theft Auto like really interesting. This is another side, by the way. It's because like for the longest time, the fictional world in Grand Theft Auto was always the two pinnacle coasts of the United States. It was always a New York inspired place and a Los Angeles inspired place. The two cities that probably despise each other the most. Mm-hmm. Other than the inter-Californian feud that is San Francisco and LA. But other than that...
Or can we say Fresno, Bakersfield? There really is nothing in Bakersfield.
all you do there is bake.
Field.
The only thing fun to do over there is to get baked. And yet the newest one is in Florida.
I don't get that. I really don't.
Like, yes.
Strippers coming out of a trunk.
Like, yes, there is sorry, how am I forgetting this? Oh, sorry. Grand Theft Auto Vice City, which
I know what you need.
which is set in a fictional Miami, but like this Grand Theft Auto, kind of like the transformation from like the previous games to larger games. It's just like, it's not like you remember that short trailer?
Oh my god, I felt like that was a twerking video.
There was like barely any like proper in the city Florida. Like this is like, you know, the Badlands, where the crocodiles are, and like where like you have mud parties with trucks and stuff like that.
The inbreds.
And it's just like wow.
We're talking North Florida.
It's like, wow, it's like this is like Florida, not like the like
Florida man.
Not like the tall buildings and the beaches and like the people in the bikinis. It's just like, it's way more than that. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
I do think that the Florida man is found in the north, not in, bougie cities of the south. Florida man is wrestling a crocodile somewhere, trying to challenge a Kentucky into a fight.
Who do you think is like a close second to the Florida man? Like what a
Ohio man.
Oh, that is true. That's
or you could also go Utah man.
That's kind of where I was trying to lead you to.
Utah man is very meth heavy. Very meth heavy. Lots of face tattoos. No correlation to Post Malone living in Salt Lake City, but you get the deal.
Yeah, I love Post Malone.
Now, the wonderful thing is I will say that California man very rarely makes the news.
Yeah, that's strange, isn't it? Because like we drive like what? Like not even like 3 minutes. I mean, you drive way further, but I'll drive like 3 minutes, and I'm just I feel like I have a story for my coworkers when I get there.
Yeah.
And yet the news is very light on California man.
Yeah, it's like California man is just vibing with a blunt and just saying, yeah.
California man smokes another blunt.
Someone's all like, you want to fight? And they're just like, bruh.
Has 3 clicks.
Exactly. It's like, nah.
And those 3 clicks are fellow smokers who are just like, hell yeah, bro.
Exactly. Like, or in the Spanish way down in LA, be like, chévere. Oh my God. And then you have Florida man that's saying, bitch, the fuck? You want to fight, bruh? Oh my God.
I feel like when I read California news, it's more like
pollution and the drought.
That, but it's usually just like someone was fucking with like a local Latino small business owner, and it's just like, you asshole.
Yeah,
that
regretfully that is most of it. Yeah, it's like a little paletero got robbed.
There's so many times where I was just like, I'm gonna drive to LA right now and fuck that guy up.
Yeah, that's always insane. And then it's like you have Ohio man, who's like fucking wrestling I don't know what the fuck are they called? They're not called, they are called badgers. So yeah, you have Ohio man like fighting badgers, and then you have Florida man wrestling crocodiles. And then you have Utah man injecting meth, Oh, in Utah, actually, in Utah, this is taken a lot more seriously, but because I'm not from Utah, I can joke about it. I think it'd be vice versa. I can't joke about it because I'm not from Utah. But anywho, back in, I think, the 70s or the 60s, maybe even earlier, because I think this was going on maybe even in the 40s or the 50s. I can't remember. But there was this military base that was doing some testing on sheep. Or rats, I think. But what they were doing is that they were spraying it in the air. Okay. And so they sprayed this agent of sorts, and they didn't realize that wind kind of carries things. And so they sprayed a fuck ton of the shit.
Yeah, is that more cost effective than injections? Like, what the hell are they doing?
So they spray all this shit, and then it floats inland, and by a sliver, like the trajectory misses Salt Lake City and goes towards like this eastern valley of sorts. And it lands over hundreds, if not thousands, of sheep that are pasturing. And the next day after that, guess what? There's thousands of sheep dead lying on the floor, and farmers are asking, what the fuck happened here?
Oh my God.
I'll let you guys do your own research on that. But yeah. So that's called Sheep Day.
Christ.
So that's Utah, man.
Oh, Miss Frick, should we go to our next pairing?
Yeah, that's your pairing.
Yeah. Okay.
Utah man.
So, once again, I'm not going to pick just a solo show or video game. I'm gonna go with a concept. So this is going to be a little harder. But I'm going to try to reel it in because I feel like the last few episodes I've been more philosophical with your parents, where I'm just like, Mr. Victor, give me the overarching feelings of like a winery going through shit and then just like failing and stuff. I'm going to reel it in.
You don't have to, but that's up to you.
We'll see. We'll see.
You know, me loves talking mad papas about people. I love the tea piping hot, bro. Decaf, please.
You say you love it, but I love going into the conversation. You're just like, oh boy, do I really want to say this? So
yeah. Oh my god. But let's carry on, my good sir.
We'll see where the vibes land. So I've been having fun lately, taking my handheld consoles and doing what the community knows as modifying them. Another word for it is hacking. So I have these two handhelds, PlayStation Vita and the 3DS. I featured them on the show before. I'd go grab them just for the sake of video, but I'm not sure where they are right now, to be honest. Like, one's in my backpack and I think the other one's in the bedroom. Too much work. So just, Otavio, please, just put some consoles right here. So the Vita and the 3DS, I recently hacked them. And the reason why I did this is because lately in the news, there's just been lots of questions about like the ownership of video games, especially when they're digital, because as people may well know, when you buy a digital game, the manufacturers, the console owners, or the publishers will tell you, you don't actually own the game. We gave you a license. The purpose of it is to play this game on this one console. You're not allowed to have copies or play it on other devices.
So let me stop you there, my good sir, before we carry on, and you can take this part out if you need to. Are you about to admit on live show that you are stealing video games?
I have caveats.
That will protect you?
Probably not.
I would advise against doing something potentially incriminating that will be on the open internet. Unless you want to get banned.
There are so many YouTube videos that are bigger than me. Millions of subscribers that talk about this stuff. So everything's fine.
Okay, so carry on.
And so, that's been a real problem for people because, like, what is the fundamental argument is, what is the point of spending my money, especially when it's like 30, 40, 50, the upwards, if it's not mine?
Correct.
What the heck is the point of that? So, anyways, that's where the arguments lie. And the argument becomes even more stronger towards the community when you shut down servers that takes away the ability to re-download games that you've bought.
I've done that. Angry Birds. Bro, I'm not even fucking kidding. Okay, so let me show you this. That makes more sense now because holy fucking shit have I been confused. So, this specific Angry Birds I can no longer find on the App Store.
Okay.
And if you look at the margins, they're all fucked up.
Oh yeah, because it's not updated for this aspect ratio.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't fucking exist anymore. And it's like, I tried playing it, and I'm just like, click on whatever the open one is. It's like the fucking screen just doesn't fit. It's just weird. And it's like, I'm like, wait, why the fuck does this look like that? And then I go to the App Store because I want to update it, and I'm like, it doesn't exist.
That's an old version.
But I'm not entitled to that, right?
Yeah, I mean, if the developers stop updating the game, then yeah.
It's like I can see my fucking final score, bro. Like, what the fuck?
That is hilarious.
But is that what you were kind of talking about?
I'm referring to, like, if Apple servers whether the entire Apple servers go down or they go down for that particular game. Like, imagine for whatever reason you have that game currently uninstalled, like it's not on your phone, and then you're just like, one day you're just like, you know what? Despite how fucked that version is, I'm gonna re-download Angry Birds because I'm in the mood, and it tells you no, you can't re-download it, and you're like, but I bought it for like $6, and you're just like, and they're just like, nope, it's not on the server, you can't have it.
What?
Exactly.
That's bullshit.
Hold on to that feeling because that's how the community feels. So
wait, they're taking something I paid for and saying that I don't own it anymore because it's on some property that I don't have access to?
Exactly.
And they're holding that from me and say I can't have it because of that? Oh, that's bullshit.
There are instances where the company is nice enough to be like, we'll host enough of the servers to where you can re-download games that you have bought, but if you want to, for whatever reason, if you're a new purchaser or you just need to purchase another copy, no, you can't even do that. So, but sometimes there are worse cases where like you can't even re-download something you already bought. So anyways, that's the whole thing. Premise to that, which is being that the Vita and the 3DS online stores are down. You can no longer buy new copies of games. Yes, you can buy physical carts, the discs or whatever, and play them that way. But as far as I know, this is no longer a supported console of which when I purchase something, the developer gets that cut that they deserve. Right?
Huh.
That is my gray moral ground, to which I'm just like, all right, well, if there's no way for me to, because if I purchase a copy of, let's say, Resistance Retribution on the PlayStation Vita, that does not go to the developer, who is Insomniac Games. If I buy a used copy, they're not going to get that money anyways. And sometimes used copies of games go like the prices skyrocket because you cannot, there's no easily attainable way to get it. So the value just goes up, especially if a lot of people want it. So it's just like, man, this is getting prohibitively harder to obtain legally. So what do? No one's getting money for it anyways. Might as well download it off some website.
Huh.
So that's what I've been doing lately.
Okay.
There are these brand new mods on the 3DS and PlayStation Vita where, because these consoles have been out there in the world for like 10 plus years, it's just become very easy to hack them, to the point where all you have to do is take out your Vita, go to a website, hit X, you're done.
Interesting.
You can now download a fan hosted server that which you just press X, you press the A button to all these games that you want, and it downloads directly. And I've just been having a grand old time.
That doesn't sound like it's wrong to do, though.
Yeah, it's all fan supported, and no one gets money out of it.
Yeah, so you're just sharing.
And which is, it's just sharing. So, I'm sure Nintendo and Sony and all the companies would have arguments against that, especially with their legions of lawyers, and they have done stuff about it. But in this instance, it's just a bunch of people sharing. I'm sure I'm sure they would lose a court case, but no one's filing any suits, so it's fine. Well, it's not fine, but you get what I mean. So, Mr. Victor, what would you pair with the story about things that are no longer available, supported, no longer officially sanctioned by the original proctors, wineries, industries, but the community is just like, we'll keep it alive. We want access, and we'll just do it ourselves.
So there is.
I promise not to be grandiose about it, and yet I think I just did.
Yeah. So there is a subset of something that is kind of like this, and it goes like this. So I think we talked about this maybe in a previous episode about how the Portuguese started making wine.
Oh, yes.
And about how eventually for them to provide wine to the English, they had to fortify their barrels and whatnot.
Yes.
So turns out that doing such and making age-worthy wines while they're at it resulted in making really, really good wine. The Americans had a taste of it and decided they liked it too. And they decided to capitalize on that, just like they did on the name of champagne. And just like they did on the name of Johannesburger Riesling.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, we're going to go back to the late 60s, early 70s. And out of all that cropped a whole bunch of wineries that couldn't get Portuguese port. So they decided to make it themselves. Mm-hmm. And they called it port. They called it champagne. Oh, Lordy. The where this is going is that the French and champagne, I mean, out there, who doesn't know the name champagne?
I know it.
I mean,
loser.
Everyone knows that word, champagne, and it usually is equated to celebration or some momentous occasion. Mm-hmm. Something like that. Turns out that...
Popping that bubbly.
Yeah, it turns out that Champagne is actually a region in France, in northeastern France, actually like about 2 hours east of Paris, that makes sparkling wine called champagne, and that is where it originated. Mm-hmm. When you have such a idyllic word that you technically own but legally don't, what do you do to all the little plebeians that decide to use your name? You righteously sue the fuck out of them.
You sure do.
So, Champagne's argument here is that their soil is unrivaled. Their winemaking technique has been mastered over hundreds of years. And they actually are entitled to the region of Champagne. And therefore, only champagne from France can legally be called champagne.
Ooh, I have a funny aside, but I'll let you finish.
So, same thing happened with Portuguese port. So, producers even here in the Central Valley decided to make something called port. Little did they know that they were infringing upon the actual region of Porto in Portugal that makes port wine. And the same thing happened. Portugal said, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
And that pretty much caused a calamity in the United States, where, especially with Champagne, in Champagne, the lawsuit came down so heavy, so unmercifully heavy, that the French got their way. And if a winery existed at that time during that whole legal battle, the American winery could use the name Champagne if they put the word California or American before it to distinguish it. Mm-hmm. The easiest way to tell whether a champagne is real or not is look at the price. Real French champagne starts at about $45 a bottle. Your local bottle of Corbel California champagne, right, or Ballatore California champagne, or Andre or Corbel, which one did I say?
You said Corbel first.
So Andre Brut, yes. Champagne from California, same thing. Those were all like about $6, $7, maybe $5. With Portuguese ports, they actually went as far to put a little sticker on the neck of the bottle. That's a little white tag on both sides of the cork that says Vinhos do Instituto de Portugal, to make sure that, hey, that's how you know you're getting a real port. All that to say that has not stopped, let's say, wineries from saying, fuck you, I'm doing what I want.
Capitalism, baby. I gotta make my money.
If you go and see a whole bunch of wineries out in California, and in Oregon, and in, pretty much anywhere, you will find tiny little wineries. Sometimes the most obscure, that they don't even have a website, a listing on Google, that sell wines that they call port, champagne, or Johannesburg Riesling. Mm-hmm. And they're just like, fuck you, man. We're not going to oblige by that. Sometimes the wines are good. Sometimes the wines are bad. But if that is not America at its finest, yeah, what is? We don't like having our liberty infringed upon, and we will go wherever we find oil.
The American populace, they're buying my product because they like it. You are hindering my livelihood, bro, by telling me to stop. I'm just going to see you back.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I will say this. The French are absolutely terrifying when it comes to champagne. So there is a bottle of cava in Spain called Cristalino. It literally has a white label, blue bottle. The French producer known as Louis Roederer, who makes the champagne Cristal, sued the fuck out of Cristalino and said, yo, your name is Cristalino. People can confuse that for Cristal. Mind you, the spelling of Cristalino literally says Cristal, but then I-N-O. And Cristalino has been around for years.
Yeah.
I mean, like a long ass time. So the wine community said, yo, what the fuck? Like, why the hell are you selling Cristalino? Like, no one is going to confuse the two bottles. Like, no, one is like $400 a bottle. The other one's like $7. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Louis Roederer won. The amount of money that they're willing to throw is insane. But I mean, it makes sense. I mean, when you own when you are the preeminent region, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are other producers here in California that said, okay, you know what? We were around for that law where we can call ourselves champagne, but we're not going to do that. We don't need that. NQ Schramsberg, one of my personal favorite sparkling wines. And I say sparkling wine because that is exactly what they are. They say, we're not champagne, bro. We're better. And they have succeeded at that. So, Schramsberg has been served at by every single president for some kind of formal dinner. Going back to,
Really?
I think it was Nixon, or even sooner than that.
Wow.
Every single president served Schramsberg at the White House. Like, that is how legit they are.
Yeah.
And the cheapest bottle of Schramsberg you can get is about $38.
And you would be surprised. Well, you wouldn't be surprised how many people look at that label and think it's French.
Yeah, I mean, it's even when you do a blind tasting, it tastes just like, actually, I would say better than a lot of French champagne. So some producers have just gone as far to say, you know what, fuck you, bro, we don't need you. And funny story about Schramsberg too is that they were technically offered to be purchased by, I think it was Moet and Chandon.
No,
They actually offered money to buy the winery, and they were just like, nah, we don't want you. So that's my official pairing, is every single little producer that you see, give the big middle finger up to the man. And when I say the man, I mean the international community.
Yeah. It must be scary to go to international court because there's like so many fucking laws you gotta look at.
Yeah, especially when you're using a name. So, I mean, there was also this one time that in Southern California, one of my favorite regions, the Santa Rita Hills, decided to try to trademark that name. I mean, it is their region. It's a famous region. But turns out that in that case, they, as in we, lost as fuck. Because turns out that way before the Santa Rita Hills were a thing, the Santa Rita Hills in the country of Chile was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, to differentiate the two, what was established that when you spell out the word Santa Rita Hills, only the country of Chile can use that. If you want to use the word or the letter or the word Santa Rita Hills in the United States, you have to abbreviate the Santa for STA and then Rita Hills.
Dude, that's why they fucking do that.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Chile legitimately whooped our ass on that one.
This just comes back to, like, this might sound vague the way I'm explaining it, but this always comes down to, like, whenever you, like, question a company's, like, decision, it always comes down to two things. It's just, like, I don't understand why they keep making this thing or designing something in this way. And it's always for two reasons. It's either because of money, just plain out money. And the only other reason is because of a lawsuit.
Yep, that's usually how it goes. That is usually how it goes.
Two things that make the world go round.
Let me give you another wonderful example. Have you ever heard of the winery Stag's Leap?
Of course I have.
But which one?
What the fuck? Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
There's two with a deer on there.
Uh-huh.
One has a very famous wine called Artemis.
I do know what you're talking about.
And another one is just a basic white label with fancy cursive letters on there. So, the region of Stag's Leap in the Napa Valley was established, I think, back in the 80s, maybe the 70s. And at that very point, two wineries were calling themselves Stag's Leap. Oh, they did not like that. They did not like that. There was a major legal squabble in the courts of California for that. And one of the funniest things that ever resulted from that was that one winery agreed to call themselves Stag's Leap with the S at the end of Stag's, having an apostrophe after the S.
Yes, yeah.
And the other one agreed to have the apostrophe before the S on Stag's Leap. That is the legal way you could tell them apart. Now, a consumer does not know jack shit about that. They see, oh, it has a deer? Oh, that's the right one. No, buddy. No.
Yeah.
So Stag's Leap Wine Cellars, the one that won the Judgment of Paris back in 1970. Why did I forget this? 74? No, 1976. That one aptly created a wine called Stag's Leap Artemis, which has a bigger deer on there. The other one, and I mean, if you want, you could put the labels up so that we could see them, because it's kind of funny how that turned out. One of them has a way bigger deer on there that's like posing, like Harry Potter status, and then the other one has a deer that's like frolicking. But they're both Stag's Leap. It's hilarious as shit, because you're just like, what the fuck, man?
And it's funny because they probably sued for just like, consumer confusion and damages, but the result is even more damaging.
Yep. It's like, I can't tell you how many times I've had when we had worked at our, mutual job, people come and saying, do you have Stag's Leap? And I'm like, are you talking about the region, or are you talking about one of the two wineries? Because God, my God, you better know what the fuck you're looking at.
You're just passively trying to be helpful by being like, oh, which one? And they're like, what are you talking?
And then I walked them over, and then they're like, oh, there's two. And I'm like, yeah, did you know if you wanted the one with the apostrophe after the S or the one before the S? And they're like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, look at the goddamn label, man. They're like, oh.
I gotta check my phone. My girlfriend sent it to me.
Yeah, and it's like she doesn't even put an apostrophe in there, so it's like, okay, yeah, you're fucked. So that is my official pairing. I would say that for that lovely thing of the community server, I would say little tiny wineries just saying, you know what, fuck you, we're not abiding by this.
My ADHD, or what I assume is ADHD, made me forget, because I said, I was just like, oh, I have something to tell you, but I'm gonna let you finish. I forgot what it was.
Oh, that is true. I was talking about... Oh, what was I talking about? Damn. We're in the same boat, my guy.
Oh, man. Oh.
What happens when you put two Victors together? We forget.
Yeah, we sure do.
Or actually, no, the answer would be what?
Although I do have like related-ish kind of stuff for that. So there was this... Speaking of like all this like hacking and like downloading ROMs and like, running games on other devices. So... a lot of how this community even exists in the first place is because Sony Computer Entertainment, which makes PlayStations, sued an emulator developer who was like, made emulators that played PlayStation games on other devices. And they're like, hey, you can't do that. I don't know the specifics because I'm not even close to even an amateur lawyer. But I do know the results, which was Sony lost that lawsuit, which resulted in people playing in this gray area where it's just like, okay, so the reason why, so basically the judge was just like, okay, you can have emulators, but the emulator can't come with copyright software that Sony has made. So you can make the emulator, but it can't have any of Sony's stuff that they've made. Like, it can't have games, it can't have the BIOS files, it can't have like all this stuff. Nerds know what I'm talking about. So it's like, okay, so you put out the emulator, and the consumer has to figure out ways
how to use it.
Figure out ways to bring their own video games, to bring their own BIOS, to bring their own ways of making the software talk to each other so it plays on the computer.
Damn, isn't that nice?
And that's how we've been getting away with it for all these years.
I don't think that's called getting away. That's called finding a way.
Mm-hmm. So that's how it is.
That is a lovely, juicy, spicy story, and I love it.
Yeah. I think another side I had was the silly ways people, the perceived silly ways that people make lawsuits from like nothing burgers, which is, funnily enough, we were playing Fallout earlier. I mean, you might not know. Depends how this, depends how Otavio edits this. But we were playing Fallout, which is made by Bethesda, which is owned by a company called ZeniMax. ZeniMax, in the video game community, knows ZeniMax for being very litigious. Very litigious. There's this video game that they made called The Elder Scrolls. They made Skyrim. They made Oblivion.
I thought that was Elden Rolls.
Elden Rolls.
Or what was the other one called? Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. Again, it's going to come to that. So, a video game by a very, very small developer. I think it was made by like 6 people. Made a game called Squirrels. ZeniMax is like, hey, people are going to confuse that game with Elder Scrolls. It's like, are you kidding me? Scrolls
No.
is a singular word.
Yep.
Scrolls is in the English language. It's in the fucking dictionary. It's not like a thing that, it's not a combination of words that make a phrase that is identifiable and brandable. Scrolls, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But they're very small. And ZeniMax is giant to the point where they got bought by Microsoft for like, what, $21 billion? So
My heart flutters.
they're not going to fight that. So they're like, okay, our game's not called Scrolls anymore. It's called fucking Scroll.
Oh,
Like-
some other
like-
random.
yeah, they spelled it kind of differently. There's this another game called oh god, I'm forgetting it. The art is in my head. The gameplay trailer is in my head. Anyways, there's lots of examples of this. Elden Ring, again, was almost like I think ZeniMax was just kind of like, puffing their chest, being like, "Ooh, what are you gonna do?" But it is a From Software game. They're a large, even though they're independent, there are a large, place in the industry. So ZeniMax ended up not doing anything about it.
Oh, all bark, no bite.
But yeah, there was like industry rumblings being just like, oh, ZeniMax might I think their lawyers went on social media and been like, oh, this is kind of interesting. So,
You know what's funny is that I confuse Elden Rolls and Elden Ring all the time, but I don't think I would ever confuse Scrolls for Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls, Elden Ring. I know it's like L. It's like
Yeah, because like one of our mutual former colleagues, he was playing one of those, and I would always be like, "Oh, you're playing Elden Scroll or Elder Scrolls," and he'd be like, "No, I'm playing Elden Ring," and I'm like, "I don't know the difference, my guy."
video game lawsuits. That's for the video people who see me typing away. Oh, God. Maybe it's in here. Really quickly. No. Oh, the hot coffee lawsuit was hilarious.
Hot coffee?
So, sorry, I'm off mic. So the Grand Theft Auto hot coffee lawsuit was basically, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, there is code in the video game that allows you to have uncensored sex in the video game.
What?
And so like a bunch of parents and like people all uppity in their monocle.
What video game was it again for our viewers?
Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Their monocles.
Bookmark that, you guys.
Their monocles fucking fell out and it went like, oh my god. So they tried to sue him. But the counter argument was that Rockstar, the developer, made that code inaccessible because they were making that sex minigame and they were just like, yeah, this isn't going to fly and it's not fun. So we took it out, but they didn't take the code out of the entire game. They left it in there, but they patched over it in a way where the player would never ever be able to access it. Mm-hmm. The only reason why it came up is because modders saw the software and repatched the game to where it was accessible.
Oh, lordy.
And all of the people who are suing thought that was just part of the game. And it's just like, no, it's not part of the game. You have to physically take a computer, know computer science and coding, and like go and access it. The average consumer doesn't know jack shit about that.
Yeah, I could totally imagine that. That's insane.
So that's a funny lawsuit. And so they didn't win that one. So yeah. So by law, Rockstar Games is not a bunch of perverts, I guess, is the result of that. It's not here, but anyways, my point was there was another game that kind of sounds like another game that ZeniMax made, and they got mad over the naming.
Yep, sounds like Louis Roederer.
So,
is your name Cristalino? If so, we're coming after you.
Mr. Victor, what a fascinating episode about.
Oh my God, tomato hornworms and technical difficulties and interesting lines.
And legal precedents that could be damaging, but turned out to be a little silly.
Video game lawsuits. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Tomato hornworms and video game lawsuits. What a night. What a bloody night.
Only on this show, Mr. Victor.
Exactly. Can we talk about those kind of things and get sloshed? Oh, his sloshed barometer is about max now. Oh, no, it's over 9,000, I think is the proper term.
Which is why that's a good reference. Which is why if you appreciate content like this and you want to tip your bartender,
Mahogany.
Please tip us. I got you said mahogany. I was just like, yes, I gotta include mahogany in my little spiel. But yes, over at ko-fi.com/corkscontrollers, whatever you contribute over there ends up back on Mahogany, which is the point Victor was making.
Yes.
So tip your bartender if you appreciate the show. If you like to get in contact with us for any reason whatsoever, that is podcast at speakgeeky.net. Speakgeeky.net is our media company. And most importantly, the fans. How do you like the show?
Yes,
Do you like the pairings? Do you like do you like the banter? Do you like us having ADHD brain and like forgetting what we're talking about mid episode? Please comment down below. Just scroll down a little bit on the YouTube video and start hitting some keys.
Yes.
You can even say ridiculous things, being like, "Why is Cloud dressed in drag?" Play the game. Fair. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a boy?
This is a boy.
Okay, my mind is blown today. Tomato hornworms and...
That's like the biggest derail of the show possible.
But anywho.
Quick fun fact: if you play this video game, you play a scene where Cloud has to dress like a girl to infiltrate a brothel.
Oh, lordy.
Goodbye.
Alrighty, goodbye, everybody.